And we are back. radioonfire.com. Yours truly, Dominic K. in here. Thank you for joining me. That was my single, Pretty Girl, which is available now everywhere. You can stream that. So, of course, we're at the Radio on Fire studios here in Baltimore, Maryland. And, the news is, if you can see the table here, the news is, there's a lot of news going on. And usually going into Fridays, the news is not as significant. A lot of times, not as many big stories is really what I mean. But definitely important news, depending on who you are. If you are a disgraced R&B singer, news is very important for you. So R. Kelly back in the news, and not for a good thing. That's for sure. Now it is a federal thing. And the feds don't be playing. You don't want to be on the feds' radar like R. Kelly is. So according to the government, the Chi-Town native recruited underage girls and took them across state lines. And why did he take them across state lines? Took them across state lines for sex. That's what the federal indictment says. Once R. Kelly convinced these victims to be with him, they were not permitted to leave their rooms. This is stuff that we've heard before. No surprise there. They could not eat or go to the bathroom. We've heard people say that. And but this is in the federal indictment. Federal indictment of R. Kelly, the singer, songwriter, legendary figure in R&B and music. At least in the last 20 years, probably the biggest R&B singer, male, right? What singer do you know R&B wise was bigger than R. Kelly in the last 20 years? I don't know. If you can come up with somebody, I'm all ears. So the feds picking him up. Let's keep in mind, R. Kelly's already facing charges in Illinois. Now he's been hit with an 18-count federal indictment charges. 18 federal charges. This is not what you want. Including allegedly taking underage girls over the state line. So why is that a big deal? So they have some separate group of charges when you go state to state. When you cross state lines, that's another charge. So according to this indictment, which was unsealed in New York and Chicago earlier today. So check this out. A 52-year-old singer, I said 52 years old, right? Looks good for his age. 52 years old R&B singer was walking his dog and smoking a fug. That's what we call him here in Baltimore. Smoking a cigarette when he was arrested on these federal charges, this federal indictment. So you're out smoking your fug, messing up your lungs. R. Kelly's a singer, so he needs his lungs, but nonetheless, he's out smoking, walking his dog. We don't know what kind of dog it is, but whatever. He's walking his dog, and the feds run up on him, right? So one of his employees also recruited women and got them to engage and all that kind of stuff. So the federal charges are interesting because, of course, we know he was supposed to be, paid victims, witnesses to cover up crimes, family members, and all that good stuff. Paid them. So is that where the racketeering comes in? So this unsealed indictment in the Eastern District of New York includes 5 criminal counts Racketeering. That's what they charge the gangsters with racketeering, right? So racketeering, transporting underage girls for sex. That's human trafficking, the sexual exploitation of a child, and a lot of these charges go back to 1999, though. So that's where some of the fuzziness comes. Are these the same charges that he beat before? They're going to be able to sift through it. There are plenty of girls. He wasn't charged with all the girls in 1999. He was only charged with one. A lot of other girls were paid off, if you remember. But the money is running low right now. R. Kelly doesn't have the same amount of money that he used to have. So these girls coming out the woodworks. He wasn't charged for all the girls from before. We knew about them, but he was not charged. In the indictment, it says that once R. Kelly convinced them to be with him, they weren't permitted to leave at all. Victims were told to keep their heads down, to avoid eye contact with other men. We've heard this before. Were required to call Kelly daddy. Okay, no big deal there. This is all in the New York indictment. Two of the victims in the New York case were 16, and another one was also under 18, so she was about 17 in this indictment. That first indictment, if you remember back in the day, the girl was young, 13 or something like that. All right, so these acts allegedly happened in New York, Illinois, Connecticut, California, according to the prosecutors in New York. Kelly and members of his enterprise traveled throughout the country and abroad, performing concerts and taking this large harem of, teeny boppers with him to promote the R. Kelly brand. They also recruited women and girls to engage in these illegal activities. So you had girls mixed with adults, mixed with R. Kelly. Wow. So it also alleges, this federal indictment, that R. Kelly engaged in sexual activity with girls under 18 years old, engaged in and facilitated sexual activity without disclosing a sexually transmitted disease that R. Kelly contracted, and produced child pornography. In Chicago, he was hit with 13 charges, including the exploitation and the possession of child pornography, that being the actual tapes. Any of you guys that have those old tapes, you got trouble. You got trouble on your hand. What's going on? Healthy People Juice. Authorities in Chicago accused R. Kelly of engaging in acts with 5 minors who he met between 96 and 1999. According to this unsealed indictment, Kelly gave $30,000 to the father of one of the victims and transferred title of a GMC Yukon Denali to that child, according to the Chi-Town indictment. So here's where the racketeering comes in. Of course, transferring the money, $30,000, the truck, to alleged victims. That's their racketeering. Paying off of victims to not hopefully have them cooperate. That's what Kelly is facing. Will he beat these charges? I don't know. Fed charges are it's tough. It's tough to beat, and he doesn't have the money like he used to have. I think that this is really weighing on him. They're just beating this man down. But let's keep in mind, before you start feeling sorry for R. Kelly, some of the stuff he did is foul. There's no denying that. But here's what I don't want to see. You have Jeffrey Epstein. You have a whole bunch of Caucasian males who commit similar acts, and they just go on just floating out here and nothing ever happens, right? But the black guys, Bill Cosby, R. Kelly, seemingly the hammer comes down on them. Now, for R. Kelly, this hammer has been hanging in the air for almost 20 years. So I guess we can't say that too much. But to see R. Kelly continuously doing this perp walk, I see a lot of people online feeling sorry for Mr. I Believe I Can Fly. If he can fly, maybe he should fly out the feds. He ain't flying though. I don't know if they consider him a flight risk. But time is going to tell. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, at The Diamond K Show, at Radio on Fire. Of course, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the share button. As I said, Pretty Girl out now. You can stream that on Apple Music, Tidal, Amazon, Spotify, all that good stuff. We're going to take a break, and we will come back after this.